I want my dear children, welcome all of you to my YouTube channel. Dear children, today we are going to learn about a lesson called matrices. Let's see what are matrices mean. Now imagine if you have arranged your clothes in your almirah in an order, so that will be a matrix. So matrix means an arrangement. So let us see what is a matrix using an example. Turn to the page number 42 in your exercise book. So here, introducing matrices, they have given us that the idea of matrices were introduced in 1854 by the British mathematician Arthur Cayley. So as you can see, under that you will be able to see a table. Here they have given that mathematics and science and Vimal, Farooq, Radha, and the marks for them that they have given in the table. So now we can arrange them as 75, 66, 72, 70 likewise in an order without marking science or mathematics. So that kind of an arrangement is known as a matrix. So the numbers inside of the matrix is called their elements. The numbers inside of a matrix is called their elements. And here, so matrices are named as equal as to the sets. We use a capital letter to name them. Okay, then let us see how to write a matrix. Imagine I would write these numbers 3, 1, 4, then another 3 number 2, 2, 1. So here now I would draw a bracket and name it as capital A. Capital A. So this is known as a matrix now. So it is very easy. This lesson would be very easy. So now we have to know what is order of this matrix. Order of the matrix. Order of the matrix A. So now you should know these are known as rows. These are known as rows. There are 2 rows. So I would write 2. So these are known as columns. So as there are 3 columns, with a multiplication mark, I can write there are 3 columns. So order of a matrix means we have to write down with a multiplication mark rows and columns in an order. Rows and columns. Okay, let us see another example. Now I would name this matrix as B. Capital B. Now, how can we write down the order of this matrix? 1, 2, 3, there are 3 rows, so I can write it in here. Then 1, 2, 3, as there are 3 columns, I can write that in here. So this is the order of the matrix, but remember this, my dear children, we don't multiply these. Then after that, let us see what is a row matrix. Row matrices. By the name you can understand what our row matrices mean. There would be only one row. So if I mark 2, 4, 1 and name it as D, so if you write down the order of the matrix of this one, 1 into 1, 2, 3 columns, so I can write 1 into 3. So as there is one row, that is known as a row matrices. Then let us see what are column matrices. Column matrices. Again, by the name you can understand. By the name you can understand what are column matrices mean. There would be only one column. 1, 1, 0. Like this. I can name it as E, capital. So if I write down the order of this matrix to, I can write 1, 2, 3, 3 rows and 1 column. 3 rows and 1 column. So row matrices mean if there are 1 row, they are known as row matrices. Column matrices mean if there is 1 column, they are known as column matrices. So as you can see, it is very easy to understand and remember. Okay, then let us see what are square matrices. Square matrices. By the name, you can understand what are square matrices. If I write down a square like this 2, 1, 3, 0. Now, if I name it as A, now as you can see, if I write down the order of this matrix, it will be 2 rows, then 2 columns. So as you can see in here, there are rows and the number of rows and number of columns are equal. So if the number of rows and the number of columns are equal, they are known as square matrices. Okay, then let us see what are identity matrices and symmetric matrices. Now for this matrix, if I draw this diagonal, this is known as a diagonal. So the string of elements from the top leftmost corner to the bottom rightmost corner is the main diagonal. So this is known as the main diagonal. Now to understand identity matrices, we have to know what is the main diagonal. So let us see what is identity matrix now. Now as you can see in this main diagonal, the numbers will be, the elements will be 1 and the rest will be 0. For the main diagonal, if the elements are 1 and the rest elements will be 0, that is known as identity matrix. That is known as identity matrix. Okay, let us see another one. Can this be a identity matrix? Yes, of course. The main diagonal is 1 and 1. The main diagonal is 1 and 1. Therefore, we can say that is an identity matrix. Now, if I draw the main diagonal of matrix, this matrix, can you see this main diagonal act as a mirror? So here 2 is in here, now the 2 is in here. It reflects 1 to 1, 4 to 4. So this kind of a matrix is known as symmetric matrices. Symmetric matrices. So the elements around the main diagonal which are equal to each other are placed symmetrically. So about the main diagonal, such matrices are known as symmetric matrices. So it is very easy to remember these. So now you have learnt about the main diagonal. Then when if the elements of the main diagonals are 1 and the rest will be 0, they are known as identity matrices. If the elements in the other side of the main diagonal are equal and they are placed symmetrically, they are known as symmetric matrices. That is what you have to know. Okay, then let us see how to add and subtract matrices. They are very easy. You have to find out the corresponding elements in these matrices. So here, what is the corresponding element for number 4 in B? That is -1. The corresponding element for number 1, it is 6. So 2 is 3. So therefore it's very easy. Now if we want to add A plus B, the matrix A and matrix B, we have to add the corresponding elements. 4 add -1, it will be 3. Then 1 plus 6, it will be 7. Then 2 plus 3, it will be 5. 0 minus 9 will be -9. Then 9 plus 2, it will be 11. 5 plus 8, it will be 13. So as you can see, it is very easy. You have to find out the corresponding elements and add them. Okay, let us see how we are going to find out A minus B. How to subtract the matrix B from A. Again, we have to do the same thing. But we have to be careful in here. Now 4 subtract -1. So if I write it separately like this, 4 subtract -1. Now you know that minus minus, it will be +1. So it will be 5. So therefore you have to be careful. Whenever there is a negative value, it would change like this. So you have to be careful whenever there is a negative value. 4 minus -1, it will be 5. 1 minus 6, it will be -5. 2 minus 3, it will be -1. 0 minus -9 again. 0 minus -9, minus minus, it will be plus. 0 plus 9, it will be 9. Then 9 minus 2, 7. 5 minus 8 minus 3. So in this case, you have to remember this part. Whenever there is a negative value, when you subtract, it would become plus. That means positive. So you have to be careful when you are doing the subtraction. But for the addition, it will be very easy. Now let us see how to multiply a matrix by a number. So here I have taken an example as A as -351 and 203. Now I want to find out the 3 times of A. Let's see how to get that. We have to multiply each element by number 3. So that will be very easy. 3 times -3, it will be -9. 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 1, 3. Then 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 3, 9. So it is very easy to multiply by a number. Now let us see how to multiply multiplication of a matrix by a matrix, another matrix. To do so, I would take this example 5, 2. As you can see, this is a row matrix, and B as 3, 1. 3, 1. Now, to do so, to multiply A and B, A into B, you have to be careful. This is the first element of this matrix, and this is the first element of this matrix. Therefore, we have to multiply those two. 5 times 3. Then we would add addition mark in here. Then the next element will be 2. 2 times 1. 2 times 1. There is a pattern, so you have to identify that. So now I can write AB as 5 times 3, 15 plus 2. Now I can write down an answer as AB as 17. So 17 should be the answer. So again, you have to understand this part. First element should be multiplied with the top element. Then the second element should be multiplied with the bottom element. That is what you have to remember. Okay, now let us see another example. To multiply A, B. Now, to do so, we have to arrange them in the rows and column method as we did before. Rows and column method. That means the first row will be 2, 4. 2, 4. With the first column 1, 6. You have to multiply. Then again the first row 2, 4. 2, 4. Then the second column it will be 8, 7. 8, 7. Then the next row will be 3, 5. 3, 5. With the first column 1, 6. Then again 3, 5. With 8, 7. Now we can multiply as usual. First element with the top element. So therefore I can write AB as 2 times 1. 2 times 1 plus 4 times 6. Second element with the bottom element. 4 times 6. Then for this one, 2 times 8. First element with the top element. 2 times 8 plus 4 times 7. 4 times 7. Then again 3 times 1. 3 times 1 plus 5 times 6. 5 times 6. First element with the top element 3 times 8 plus then the second element with the bottom element 5 times 7. So there is a pattern you have to understand. Now we can write down the answer for the final stage as AB. I would write it in here AB. Now 2 times 1, 2, 4 times 6, 24. With that 2, 26 I can write. Then 2 times 8, 16, 4 times 7, 28. Then 28 plus 16 I can write it as 44. Then 3 times 1, 3, 5 times 6, 30. Then I can write it as 33. Then 3 times 8, 24, 5 times 7, 35. With that, I can write the answer as 59. Now, I can write down the final answer as this. So, what did we do in here, dear children? We did arrange these two matrices in the column and rows order. Thereafter, we did multiply the first element with the top element, then the second element with the bottom element. That is what you have to practice and remember. Okay, dear children, then let us see another example to understand this. So here, whenever we need the multiplication of two matrices xy, we have to arrange them in rows and column. Then the first row will be 4 6, the column 1 7. Then the second row is 2 3, then the column 1 7. Thereafter, you know what you have to do. You have to do is multiply the first element with the top element. 4 times 1, 4 times 1, then plus 6 times 7, 6 times 7. Then again 2 times 1. Now you know the order. 2 times 1 plus 3 times 7. Now we can write the final answer in here. 4 times 1 4, 6 times 7 42. With that 46 we can write. Then 2 times 1 2, 3 times 7 21, then 23. So as you can see in here, the lesson matrices is very easy. There would be a question for the oral paper also. So you have to practice a lot to understand this. So don't forget to subscribe my channel to get the next video at once. Therefore you have to click the bell icon also. Then keep in touch with me. I want all of you.